YouTube? I am Nintendo Man 64, bringing you another episode of Pokemon Leaf Green. In the last episode, we began our journey in the town of Pallet in the region of Kanto, and were instructed by Professor Oak to pick our very first Pokemon. It is most certainly not my very first Pokemon. I have been around since the series started. But just in case you are new to the series, and you missed last episode, I'll fill you in on little tidbits along the way about these Pokemon in case you need refreshing. Bulbasaur, Grass Poison. Very good choice. Hiccup, sorry. I can't stand when I get hiccups when I record, damn it. Squirtle, Pure Water type. Extremely good choice. Charmander. Very difficult to raise, but extremely worth it. And as you could guess by the fire on its tail, it's definitely a poison type. I mean, fire type, of course. Now, if any of you guys know me, you know my favorite type of Pokemon, other than a very interesting type that we will tackle later, because I intend to use one of those Pokemon for my team, is Water type. So naturally, you would think Squirtle is the best option. Well, there's a problem with that. I played a little Pokemon game called Pokemon Fire Red almost a year ago to this point, and unfortunately in that game, I picked Squirtle as my starter. Squirtle could have been extremely useful to me in this Let's Play, but unfortunately I have to decline on him, and I need to pick another water type. And I picked a doozy for you guys. You are going to be very happy with the water type I picked, just saying. So, that leaves me with two choices, Bulbasaur and Charmander. Okay, and I've constructed two teams with both of these Pokemon, and you really can't go wrong with either of these Pokemon. There is a catch though, a big catch. One of these Pokemon reused an assortment of other Pokemon, meaning I reused Pokemon for one of these specific Pokemon, and it sucked because I don't want to reuse Pokemon. At least I only want to reuse Pokemon if I really love the Pokemon. So if you expect me to, other than starters, of course, because I think starters is just a little unfair to reuse starters. Unless I'm playing a game for the first time. Like, if I play Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I may pick Torchic, or I may pick another Pokemon later for those games. But obviously, right now, I have to choose a Kanto starter. And it may come as a bit of a shock to you guys, but Charmander, my all-time favorite Pokemon? I'm not choosing you. We're gonna pick Bulbasaur, the grass poison type, the adorable one, numero uno in the Pokedex. I'm excited. I've wanted to use Bulbasaur in a Let's Play ever since Cameron called me out on my hatred of grass starters. I don't hate grass starters, I just hate Chikorita, and she'll never get over that. Okay, now that we have our first Pokemon, we can give our Pokemon a nickname. We can give any Pokemon we catch a nickname. I may not give all of my Pokemon nicknames, but I will give the ones that are going to be on my team nicknames, as most LPers do, and as I've always done. It's been a tradition here for a year, goddammit. Okay. And since Bulbasaur is a boy, I had a much better name suited for Bulbasaur if Bulbasaur had been a girl, but I know exactly what I'm going to name you. Bet you guys think it's gonna be Bulbous? No. Bulbaus? Nope. If you guys are fans of the Pokemon Bridge series, you guys are gonna know damn well why I just called it Bulba Butt. But he is a cute little Bulba Butt. He's a cute little Bulba Butt. And because baggage is baggage, and because he likes to be a butt face, he's gonna pick the Pokemon that Bulbasaur is weak to, and pick Charmander. Would have been a lot nicer of him to pick Squirtle, but I digress. Oh well. Alright, what's up, Oak? If a wild Pokemon appears, your Pokemon can battle it. With it at your side, you should be able to reach the next town. That is true. But, even though I did not go over the start menu, I think it's blatantly obvious what they all do. Your bag holds shit. That's where you can check your money and your badges and stuff. That's where you save the game, options to change stuff, exits, close the menu. But now we have the new Pokemon option, so let's click that, and let us investigate our Bulbasaur. Now, one? Yes, I did. Okay, good. Just wanted to be sure. Okay. Bulbasaur is number 1 in the Pokemon Pokedex, which we will figure out what that is later on. Maybe not in this episode, but we'll definitely figure it out. And let's see. Its name of its Pokemon is obviously Bulbasaur. Its type is Grass Poison. OT means original trainer. That's Mikey. ID number. That's my ID number in this game. And the item is none, because I did not give Bulba Butt an item, unfortunately for him. Now, I bet you guys are wondering what that nature means. Gentle nature means how its stats will rise in comparison to others. Meaning, gentle nature will increase your potency to have your special defense bulked up, while it will cost you some physical defensive stats. So Bulba Butt is not going to be the defensive wall I had planned. Actually, I did not even plan. I just planned on Bulba Butt being sort of a jack of all trades for my team, and you know what? I'm quite content with that. So this nature is not a problem with me. Now, the second page on this Pokemon chart is, as you can see, it talks about your specific stats. A Pokemon's stats are divided into 6 categories. HP is how much damage it can take before fainting. Attack power is physical attack power, so what power it has behind its tackles, body slams, kicks, punches, though I doubt Bulbasaur will ever be able to punch as it needs all 4 legs to stand up. Defense is how much you're able to withstand those types of attacks. Special attack is what attacks, all the other attacks count for, such as breathing fire, calling upon the rays of the sun to destroy people, which is what Bulbasaur can do with a later move. I don't know why you just turned yourself off screen. There was no reason for you to, but you just wanted to be a butt face, but whatever. I'm just going to keep going. Special defense is your ability to resist that, and speed is kind of important considering this is a turn-based attack RPG, and the faster your Pokemon is, the faster they'll be able to deal out the damage. Bulbasaur is by no means a sweeper, so we're not going to worry about that. XP means experience. That's how much experience points your Pokemon has at the moment and what it needs to get to the next level. Currently, our Bulba Butt is at level 5. It will need a lot of leveling up if it wants to take on the deeper challenges of this game. The last thing I want to talk about on this page is ability. Now, all 3 starter Pokemon have relatively the same ability, except it goes with their type. Meaning, when your Pokemon's HP is low, I believe if it is down to 1/3 of its health, though it could be less than that, your Pokemon's moves that match its type, so specifically Grass for Bulba Butt, will be raised dramatically in a pinch, so it'll be a lot stronger. Unfortunately, Bulba Butt does not know any Grass-type moves, hence why we go to the last page. This is your known moves. It is not going to cover all the moves, since your Pokemon can only know 4 moves at a time. But as of right now, our Bulba Butt only knows 2 moves, which are 2 of the most common moves in the Pokemon universe. Tackle, a physical attack in which the user charges full body into the foe. Not very accurate, though, unfortunately. And Growl. The user growls in a cute way, making the foe lower its attack stat. Both of those are useful stats very early on, attacks very early on, but they're not the best for the later haul of the journey, because you're gonna uncover a lot more powerful Pokemon that way. It sucks, but you know what? What you gonna do? Well, with that said, I believe we can go and explore some areas up north, unless... Wait, Mikey! Let's check out our Pokemon! Come on, I'll take you one! No subtlety in your douchiness, is there, Baggage? Okay, Rival Baggage wants to battle, and he only has 1 Pokemon, which is the Pokemon we were weak to, Charmander! Oh, for Pete's sake, so pushy as always. Mikey, you've never had a Pokemon battle before, have you? No, because this was my first Pokemon, dummy. A Pokemon battle is when trainers pit their Pokemon against each other. I knew that. The trainer that makes the other trainer's Pokemon faint by lowering their HP to 0 wins. But rather than talking about it, you'll learn more from experience. Try battling and see it for yourself. Now, as you can see here, you have your 4 options. Fight, which means you get to battle. Pokemon, which means you get to switch out your Pokemon if you have more, but we do not. bag to get to items where we have that potion that we got out of the computer earlier, and run if we could run away from a wild Pokemon, but you cannot run away from trainer battles. Remember that. And with our only 2 moves, let's see how much damage Tackle does. A fair amount, but not as much as I would have liked. I would have loved a lot more damage, but unfortunately Tackle is a normal type move, and Bulba Butt is not normal type. Anyway, inflicting damage on the foe is the key to any battle. Charmander uses Scratch. So he does damage, I do damage. I am very surprised Bulba Butt is faster than Charmander at the moment, but you know what, I'll take it. So basically it goes back and forth until one of us can change the odds of this fight, which can change at any time. Now, Bulba Butt is weak, and as you can see, I've drained down his HP. However, as you remember, it is not the most accurate move. Tackle is not the most accurate move. So what we're going to do, we're going to use that potion just to be on the safe side. It's important to get to know your Pokemon thoroughly. This is a list of your Pokemon, Mikey. Open this to check the skills and moves of your Pokemon. You also choose Pokemon here if you want to use an item on them. And we're going to use that potion to heal up Bulba Butt. And did I make the good choice? Let's see. Keep your eyes on your Pokemon's HP. It will fade if the HP drops to 0. And he's using Scratch, so he's gonna... So yeah, he would have taken me out there. Good thing I made my choice. And Tackle takes out Bulba Butt. No, it takes out Charmander, no. Thank God I didn't take out Bulba Butt. I need Bulba Butt. He needs to be strong. Strong like bull. And Bulba Butt immediately grows to level 6, so that's good. And we defeated rival Baggage. What? Unbelievable! I picked the wrong Pokemon! And he only gives us 80 bucks for winning. And those are Poké Dollars too. They're like 80 Pokemon dollars is like the most worthless thing in the world, unfortunately. Excellent. If you win, you will earn prize money and your Pokemon will grow. If you lose prize money. And your Pokemon will not grow. Battle other trainers to make your Pokemon strong. Okay, I'll make my Pokemon battle to toughen it up. Mikey, Gramps, smell you later. What a douche. Well, with that said, we may as well follow him. And that means with our Bulba Butt, who is now at full health for some weird reason, we didn't heal him. Let's see how quick he is to the next level. 32, not bad. At level 7, Bulba Butt will learn his first Grass-type move. Unfortunately, it's not a Grass-type move we can seriously use yet, but hey, who's counting? This is Route 1! The first Pokemon route where we can actually encounter wild Pokemon. Unfortunately, we do not have the means to capture wild Pokemon at the moment, but I can still go over these Pokemon as we encounter them. Alright, this is Pidgey! Pidgey is a normal flying type. A nice fact that you guys should know is that there is no such thing as a pure flying type Pokemon, at least as of this point, including Gen 6. There is no pure flying type. Flying type is the only type that does not have this distinction, but however, getting over that, Pidgey is a well-rounded Pokemon. Focuses mostly on speed, so it's a very useful Pokemon early on, and you probably can make it a useful Pokemon later on in your journey. Personally, for me, Pidgey does not have the best strengths to go along with its weaknesses, which are numerous, unfortunately, for it. And of course, Tackle misses, and it's gonna miss again because it doesn't like me, but it didn't because it's good. Oh joy, I know what this LP is gonna be. Every single Pokemon game I played so far has a distinct thing about it. Pokemon Fire Reds was the Pokemon live by 1 HP. I'm gonna guess this one is gonna be the one that has Pokemon that... it's gonna have Pokemon that I'm gonna get critical hits when I don't need them. Like if I'm trying to catch a Pokemon, or if I'm gonna do anything like that, and all that stuff. Or if I'm just trying to battle Pokemon that are down to 1 HP, then I'm gonna get a critical hit. You can go back home at any time to heal yourself, especially if you don't want to use that potion you got earlier, which I used already, because I am impatient. But Pidgey, I would recommend Pidgey. It's very useful. Unfortunately, my team that I'm constructing right now does not have room for a Pidgey, so we're just going to hold off on using Pidgey for me personally. Hi, I work at a Pokemon Mart. It's part of a convenient chain selling all sorts of items. Please visit us in Viridian City. I know, I'll give you a sample. And you get a free potion for that. Thank you. It's not that Pidgey is a bad Pokemon per se. It's just the fact I've used a Pidgey before, so I can say nothing but great things about Pidgey. But unfortunately, in this game, I just can't really find a space for it. Now, Rattata is a whole different entity together. Whereas I can find really good things to say about Pidgey, such as its good speed and its reliability as a pretty good asset to learn both normal and flying type moves. Rattata doesn't get that distinction. Rattata is basically fast, and it learns some pretty good moves. And pretty good by normal type standards and by Gen 3 standards, so relying on Rattata early in-game is not a bad idea, but later on could be annoying. And Bulba Butt grows to level 7, and he learns Leech Seed. Leech Seed is a very interesting move, but rather than have me talk about it, I'll give these specific details about it on the move page. A seed is planted on the foe to steal some HP for the user on every turn. Not the most accurate thing, but if you want to keep your Bulbasaur alive, it's very useful. Unfortunately, it is not useful to us against Pidgeys, but it'll be useful against Rattatas. Alright, we got another wild Pokemon encounter, and it is another Pidgey. There are no new Pokemon on this route, so it's basically, well, there are no new Pokemon. Those are the only two Pokemon on this route, Pidgey and Rattata. We will encounter other Pokemon later on, but I will give you a heads up that I will not, though I will be catching Pokemon to basically fill in slots on my team in case I need someone to take a hit or something. I have no intention of catching any Pokemon to use for my team early on, because in all honesty, before I go talk about Viridian, I do have a few more things to talk about. Because honestly, the Pokemon that you catch early on, not only can you find them in later routes, but they get outclassed by a lot of really good Pokemon you can find later on. So, I'm not going to be using any of them. Alright, welcome to Viridian City, the town we were told about earlier by the guy who worked at the Pokemart. There are a lot of things to explore in Viridian City for the first time, such as this Pokemon Center right here. Big red building. It is in almost every town, except Paladin Town, of course. Which begs me to question how they even call that a town, but anyway, I digress. Here at Pokemon Centers, in case you're new to the series, you can heal your Pokemon for absolutely free, no charge. And when you heal your Pokemon, not only do their power points for moves get replenished, but their HP gets replenished as well, and any and all ailments and weaknesses that Pokemon had will be replaced. Well, not weaknesses. Those remain forever, unfortunately. There are a lot of things to do. Well, not a lot of things to do early on, but there are certain things we can do. So, as we can see here, we'll cover that house in a minute. But first, you want to see is you can go into this house right here. Hopefully, we'll learn something interesting here. My daddy loves Pokemon too. Oh, thank you. Coming up with nicknames is fun, but it's not so easy to do. Clever names are nice, but simple names are easier to remember. What do you name this Pokemon that looks like a bird? Speary. Interesting name. But as you try to get past this person here, he says, I absolutely forbid you from going through here. Okay. We will be able to go through there, it's just not at the current moment. I did say I want to cover this building, so we may as well. This building is basically like a Pokemon Academy. You get to learn some interesting things about this game. This particular area will teach you about status ailments. There are, in this game, 8 status ailments I can count. They go over 5 of them. I will go over the other 3 for you guys when we get to them. And she's trying to memorize all her notes. I will go and I will look at the chalkboard for you guys immediately, so I can tell you about them. The blackboard lists Pokemon status problems during battles. Let us start with SLP. A Pokemon cannot attack if it's asleep. Pokemon will stay asleep even after battles. Use Awakening to awaken one from sleep, or you can wait around for your Pokemon to wake up. However, your Pokemon will be a sitting duck, or sleeping duck, if you will. Which I can make my jokes whenever I'm trying to be serious too. I will try. Sleep is definitely the least It's one of the most annoying of them, but it's definitely the least, like, frightening of these to worry about. The frightening one has to go to poison. PSN in this. When poisoned, a Pokemon's health steadily drops. Poison lingers after battles. Use an antidote to cure poison. One thing they don't cover is that even after you've accomplished the battles, for every step you take, your Pokemon will lose HP. It's very crazy. It is the only of these status ailments that does this, so you gotta be extremely careful with poison. It is definitely one that's worth fearing. That's why I'm very content I actually chose Bulbasaur, because Bulbasaur, being a poison type, cannot be poisoned, which I think is fantastic. Par, which is paralyze, or in this one, paralysis. Paralysis reduces speed and may prevent the Pokemon from moving. Paralysis remains after battle. Use Paralyze Heal for treatment. Don't really have to say much else about that, other than the fact that paralysis is going to be your main enemy throughout this game, even more than poison. BRN is burn. A burn reduces attack power. It also causes ongoing HP loss. Though unlike poison, burn does not harm you as you walk. It's still just very painful, unfortunately. Though most people can get over burns pretty quickly, sometimes you can't. I mean, sometimes you just get hit with, like, lava and you can't. You, like, get like Darth Vader. A burn remains after battle. Use Burn Heal to cure a burn. And I know some of you are going to probably ask for it. You better have Burn Heal! Whatever. Burn is definitely one of the least likely ones you're going to encounter, because there aren't that many fire types you'll encounter early on, nor are there later on. It's just very useful to know, because there are certain fire types in this game that we will have to encounter, such as Charmander. And last but not least of these that they talk about is FRZ, which, as you could guess, is probably Freeze. A frozen Pokemon becomes helplessly immobile. It must sing Let It Go for 9 straight hours. It stays frozen even after the battle ends. Use Ice Heal to thaw out the suffering Pokemon. Like Sleep, however, you can wait for your Pokemon to thaw out. However, like Sleep again, your Pokemon is a sitting duck if you choose to wait. Ice is definitely the least likely one you will encounter, because there are very few specifically ice types in this game, and there are definitely not enough for you to seriously consider worrying about. So if I were you, I would not worry about ice too much. And by the time you really have to worry about ice types, to add insult to injury, by the time you really have to worry about them, there are items that are a lot better worth healing your Pokemon over other than Ice Heals. Okay, there are 3 specific other ailments that they have not gone over that I will go over. The first is Curse. Now, Curse is very interesting. Curse can only be afflicted on you by Ghost types. And as it does, a Ghost Pokemon will take away half its HP and cause serious amounts of damage to you. And by serious, I mean super serious damage to you. It's like really crazy. Not even joking. And it will continue to go through until your Pokemon either faints or the battle ends. The second is Confusion. Now, Confusion can only occur if a Pokemon uses a specific move against you, or if your Pokemon has a psychic attack used against. Or actually, you know what? Quite a few moves actually can confuse you. And in Confusion, there's a 50% chance you will attack yourself during battle with a physical attack, so sometimes it may not do that much damage, but at the same time, it's very annoying to worry about that, especially when, with my luck, I'm going to get confused a crap out of. I'm going to get confused so much in this Let's Play, I know that. Judging from the last few times I've attempted to do it. The last was introduced in Gen 2 is Attraction, because that's when gender was introduced into Pokemon games. Attraction is when a Pokemon uses the move Attract, or uses the ability called Q-Charm to make you fall in love with the Pokemon. There's a 50% chance that you will not attack during that battle. Well, not during that battle, to battle that Pokemon. While that Pokemon does not have to worry about that. It could just attract you, make you fall in love with it, hinder your ability to attack, and then just promptly beat the living crap out of you. Now, Q-Charm is very useful early on, and there are very few ways you can get rid of Attract. Unfortunately, you either have to take out that Pokemon, that attracted you, obviously, or you're going to have to find a very useful item. I believe it is the red flute which heals it, and it's a little difficult to find, so I wouldn't recommend that. Okay, with that said, we can now go into the Pokemon Mart, and we're immediately interrupted. Hey, you came from Pallet Town? Oh, damn it, wrong button. Damn it, damn it! Yes, we did come from Pallet Town, but how do you know that? You know Professor Oak, right? His order came in. Can I get you to take it to him? Okay, we get to go take this Oak's parcel back to Professor Oak. Unfortunately, we can't buy anything until we give this parcel back to Oak. Mostly because I don't think they want us catching Pokemon before we get a little nifty computer to use. It sucks, but hey, what you gonna do? Now, I am running through the grass here, but there, as you can see here, you have these little ledges here. You can just hop right over them and make your way back to Pallet Town without having to encounter too many wild Pokemon. There is a little patch where you have to fight wild Pokemon. It's obviously the one where you came in from. This one right here. So if you do get a wild Pokemon encounter, just gotta be careful. There you go. There's one. I knew there was one. Had to come at some point. And it's another Pidgey. Not the end of the world. It's just a Pidgey. Seriously, guys, don't cry. It's just a Pidgey. It's not gonna eat you. It's just a Pidgey. Seriously, like, unfortunately for all the bird types in this game, wow. For all the flying types in this game, I think Pidgey is one of the middle tier ones, so I wouldn't recommend it, but there are flying types that are worse. There are definitely flying types that are worse. So with that said, we're going to go heal our Pokemon. And we're going to take a little quick nap. A power nap, if you will. And with that, we are going to go to Professor Oak and to deliver him his parcel. We don't have a choice because we need to do that in order to forward the story. So come on, Bulba Butt, let's do this. Oh, Mikey, how is my old Pokemon? Well, it seems to be growing more attached to you. You must be talented as a Pokemon trainer. What's that? You have something for me? And we give him the parcel with this highly trumpeted music. That's interesting. Ah, it's the custom Pokeball. I had it on order, thank you. Gramps! Gramps! I almost forgot. What did you call me for? Oh, right. I have a request for you two. On the desk there is my invention, the Pokédex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. Mikey and baggage. Take these with you. Oh my god. Well, but we got a Pokédex. That's all that matters. You can't get detailed data on Pokemon by just seeing them. You must catch them to obtain complete data. So here are some tools for catching wild Pokemon. We get 5 Pokeballs for free, so that's awesome. When a wild Pokemon appears, it's fair game. Just throw a Pokeball at it and try to catch it. You are a thief if you try to steal another Pokemon's Pokeball, blah, blah, another trainer's Pokemon. This won't always work, however. A healthy Pokemon can escape. You have to be lucky. To make a complete guide on all the Pokemon in the world. That was my dream. But I'm too old. I can't get the job done. So I want you two to fulfill my dream for me. Get moving, you two. This is a great undertaking in Pokemon history. Alright, Gramps. Leave it all to me. Mikey, I hate to say this, but you won't be necessary for this. I know. I'll borrow a town map from my sis. I'll tell her not to lend you one. Ha ha! Don't bother coming around to my place after this. Now, baggage. I know the Kanto region probably better than I know the town I live in at the moment, not in this LP. However, just to stick it to you, I am going to go to your place, and I am going to go talk to your sister. I'm going to flirt with your sister, and I'm going to get a map. What's up, honey? Grandpa asked you to run an errand? Gee, that's lazy of him. Here, this will help you. And she gives us a town map anyway, so we got to give a big thank you to Daisy. Mwah! Goodbye. Okay. Now that's sort of an anticlimactic thing to end our end our episode on. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go catch our first Pokemon, our second Pokemon, but our first Pokemon that's worth catching, and it's a Pidgey. And I don't want to catch a Pidgey. Or at least not one at a crappy level like that. I don't like to raise Pokemon from too low levels. Like 2 and 3, like 3 is my absolute lowest limit. But oh wow, really? You're just gonna keep getting worse, aren't you, Pidgey? Just keep getting worse. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if a Rattata showed up. If a Rattata was at level 3, I'd say, okay, we'll catch you, I guess. Oh wow, you were just begging to not be part of my team, aren't you? I'm not even going to be using you permanently. I do have the 6 Pokemon I have in mind that are going to be used on my permanent team. I just would like a Pokemon that... Oh, you know what? Fine. Fine, Pidgey. Fine. Okay. That's good. We've lowered it down to red health. That's usually where you're going to want to lower a Pokemon's health to. And then use a Pokeball. And 2, 3. Click, click, and Pidgey is ours. Pidgey's data was added to the Pokedex. A common sight in forests and woods. It flaps its wings at ground level to kick up blinding sand. So it is a butt face. We won't be giving this Pidgey a nickname, though I will be holding on to it as mostly not like a... Nah, yeah, we're gonna hold on to it. Mostly so it could do things for me that I don't want to teach Bulbasaur if I just need something to hold up moves. Oh, perfect! I was looking for you, Rattata. We may as well catch 2 Pokemon while we're here. Let's see how much damage Rattata will take. I may actually use Rattata for a little bit. As more of like, just like a second attacker. Because if I've done my calculating correctly, I will not be getting my first Pokemon until maybe episode 6. Episode 5 or 6. And we're on episode 2. So that's a little dangerous. So I'm going to be catching a lot of Pokemon. Not using a lot. I'm just going to have some on my team to use. That'll be useful for taking hits. I am going to level them up, so it may take a little while, but hey. Rattata, no, you're not going to get a nickname. I should have given you a nickname. Unfortunately, changing a Pokemon's nickname is a little bit trickier than you'd think. We have to wait until a specific town to do it. And this should be interesting. Unless a major plot of story happens, or if something interesting occurs, from this point forward, I will be cutting out any and all Pokemon Center trips. So, if you were hoping you'd be able to see me heal my Pokemon all the time, well, too bad for you. Well, let's see. We have gotten our first 3 Pokemon in one episode. That's like a record for me. I'm thinking that's pretty much a good place to call it quits, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm NintendoMan64. Join me next time, where we are actually able to get past that old guy up ahead here in Viridian, and we're actually going to explore this little side area where hopefully we'll be able to catch some interesting Pokemon. Until then, sayonara!